Now I'm working on a spot for the battery box. So this is going to be a power battery for the winch. It's going to be tied into the engine battery for cranking. This is not part of the house system. That's going to be separate. I'm going to mount it in this area here. So basically, I'm going to weld it here and here. And then this little piece of scrap here, I'll weld this to the side into the receiver on the van. And then I'll just make an access panel on the floor back here. I'll have the plugs coming out like a, plug for the winch. I'm not sure where exactly it'll be, but it'll be coming out. I just wanted to do this while I still have the floor out. Okay, got that box all burned in. Hey, look at that weld. See, that weld looks okay. Don't look at that one. Don't look at that one. Sits like that, more or less. And then the bolts to hold the cover on go there. It looks like the ground comes out and hooks right here on the side. See that? And then the positive will run up the frame, and I'll just tie it into the battery up front at some point. Cutting the sections for the floor back here. Need to know where the floor goes, so I can put a piece of trim on here on the back, and then we can start building the walls out. So it's all kind of a process, A before B before C. Just getting the floors fit, not actually going to install them quite yet, but just making them fit.
Close enough for who it's for.
Here's the battery box. It's actually going to be an access panel here too. I plan on making a gearbox here, maybe for tow ropes or something like that, tow straps. And I was brainstorming, and there's a lot of wasted space here under the floor. So I created a couple access panels there, and I'll just make a box out of some angle iron and then line it with either sealed wood or sheet metal or whatever. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. That gives me more storage, and I'm just going to go to the bottom of the frame. That way I don't give up any of my ground clearance, because ground clearance is a kind of a priority for me with this build. So the next thing we're figuring out is these panels that go right there where the door attaches. This one was all rotten, so this is a piece of that fiberglass left. We're going to have to shave the piece of wood we have to get it tucked up behind here, and then we can put some fasteners in it, and it comes down and attaches to this wall all the way down there. This side's going to be a little different because this is not rotten, so we're going to butt into this leftover piece and attach differently. This is the panel that goes on the outside there. My pop's just shaved some material off because he's the woodworker, I am not. The idea is this sits down in here, and this is going to go up behind here. Got that piece kind of mocked up. It's just sitting in there. Going to have to trim a little bit on this. It hits my bumper bracket, and I don't want water to collect and run up the grain of the wood there. There's some trim for the bottom of the door, the weather stripping, the latch, and that all kind of has an order it has to go, so mess with that. Nice light. Got super windy today.
You want to measure how thick that is to the bottom of that metal? We could stop
Okay.
and slide it in.
2 1/8. So I got the doors kind of laid out, and we had them together. We're going for our overall measurement for the opening in the back of the van to figure that out. I thought we should put the weather stripping trim on to measure that in too. And if you line up the holes on the hinges, the rubber seal on the edge here, I don't know if you can see that, that is barely grabbing that door. And this is the bottom of the door, and this is where one of the leaks was in the van. So that's probably why that was leaking, probably from new. So I think my solution, I'm just gonna open these holes up a little bit. Let's see, how would that work? Yeah, that would bring that in, and then that rubber would make a better seal. Hopefully help eliminate that leak. Now I am gonna put new weather stripping as well, but I wanna eliminate any problems. And if you look, at some point when this van was sprayed, see when they painted it? See the paint on the rubber, how that rubber barely grabs, and you come up here and you can see the paint line disappears on the rubber. So that means it was actually touching and sealing up here, but not down here. So that's another indication. Witness mark is the term. Anyways, so I'm gonna make a little remedy out of that, redo this again, put these back together and remeasure for the opening. This side is okay. All the hinges line up nice. The overlap is good. Got the opening about what it should be. Just welded in these little braces here in the corners. Can you see that? There you go. And for this plywood to have something to grab onto. Originally the box, the back was one piece all the way around and it was screwed onto here. So this had rigidity this way. That's going to be a separate piece, so I want to have that tied in, make sure it's strong. You can see here's the outer panels I had to replace. And I used a piece of the dividing wall between the cab. I saved those pieces. And so we cut strips out of those and used that. And then this is like the aluminum frame for the door that has the seal. And then this piece comes across the bottom. And I'm going to make another trim piece that covers this area here. I'm waiting on hardware. And when I get that, I can actually bolt these in place and then bolt the doors on and get everything adjusted. And then once I get everything set, then I'm gonna take it back apart and seal everything like with a really good sealer all around the edges, where anywhere the wood touches anything, the bottoms where the grain is open, etc. Hi guys, new day, back on the van. Work this week, it's the weekend. So I'm drilling holes for the bolts that are gonna hold it back together. As you can see, it's just drilling holes, that's no big deal. I bought these carriage bolts, focus, there we go, to go in here and then kind of pull tight into the aluminum. And this is 3/4, so I bought 1-inch bolts. Well, I didn't really think that through. Too short, damn it. Even if that pulls through a little bit, it's not gonna be enough. I do plan on running a big washer and a lock nut, and it's not going to be enough to get into the nylon of the lock nut. So I'm going to have to get some longer carriage bolts. I'll probably just go down to the hardware store and buy carriage bolts because I don't want to wait till next week to finish this. And if I order them online, it's going to take that long. And I'd rather support the local place anyways, even though it is more money. The doors are mocked up. They're just sitting on there. This door needs to go that way and up a little bit. If you look, you can see the hole, where the hole kind of lines up or doesn't line up. Take this door off, drill the holes, and then it should actually line up better. And then I got to take everything apart and start sealing it. That's hilarious. I just talked for like 1.5 minutes and I wasn't recording. Yeah, so shows you how smart I am. Okay, it's the next day. Got my bolts and some other things I need. Different lengths and stuff. I need to do all that. And then this morning I went and I bought a couple spare tires, a couple used tires for the van. I wanted to have those for mock-up purpose where they're going to sit in the van. So you can see it's going to be one spare there, one spare there. The bike's going to sit right here. The back of the bike actually extends into a cabinet in the living space of the van, but you won't see it, it'll be hidden. And then the winch is going to live right here. Maybe recovery gear here, I'm not sure. I can also put stuff under this hidden panel here. Gonna blow this all apart, start sealing it, and final assembly. And right now what I'm working on, this is the trim piece that goes in the back here. The bottom of this is open plywood. And so to help seal it, what I'm doing is I got this channel, this aluminum channel, and I'm making these. So I'm just cutting this right now, getting all my lengths and stuff. I'll seal this really good with like a rubber sealer, and I think it'll be okay. And this will keep the majority of it sealed too with, you know, there'll be sealer inside here sealing these on. I think that'll work pretty good, kind of protect it a little bit. So you kind of see, just put this up here, clamped it, and then line up my mark and just cut it with this guy. Let's see. Probably there-ish. Anyways, hopefully this is in frame. Just like that. Make the next couple pieces and keep moving. It started raining outside and it's pretty cold, so I brought this inside to glue. These are, see, they're all marked. And that one goes there. That one goes there, etc. This is actually a windshield sealant. It's pretty gnarly stuff. And I'll lay the channel over it. I just want to make sure the grain of this is completely covered. Yeah, I think this will work okay. Boy, this stuff is goopy. This is what they glue your windshields in with on your car. And it actually makes the glass a structural component in your car. So this is pretty heavy duty shit. Let's see, number 2. I feel like I want it to come out the edge here too, so moisture doesn't go down. How could I do that? To a bead like that, you think? You think that'll work? Let's try it. Yeah, that'll work. So this is all kind of behind the bumper, so it doesn't have to be pretty. You're not going to see, no one's ever going to see this anyways. Yeah, that's what I'm going for, where that's sealed all the way around. I'll need to do this cut out here too. Okay, I'm going to keep working on this. I'm going to turn the camera off while I still can, though my fingers aren't super gooed up. Okay, I got those glued on there. It's nice and messy. That stuff is super messy, so you won't really see it. And then I did the bottoms. These are the side panels, and I did the bottom of these too. That's all sealed. I was hoping to get this installed today, but I just ran out of time. Everything takes longer than you think. It's a few days later, back on the van. I've been working. Pretty shitty out today. It's been raining on and off. I ran a couple errands. What I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna rubber undercoat the tops of these chipboard so they're nice and sealed. I did the underside to prevent moisture from damaging the boards from underneath. So I'm going to do the tops, and then if there's leftover material, I'll put another coat on the bottoms. The other thing is here's those boards I did that sealer on the other day, just a couple seconds ago for you in the video. But yeah, that turned out pretty good. It's dry. I can mess with these a little bit maybe, we'll see. But right now, where'd I put that shit? Ah, here it is. So anyways, I got this truck bed liner stuff here. So I'm gonna roll that onto the plywood. The stuff goes on pretty easy. And just brush this shit on. It's funny, if you watched my earlier videos, you saw I had like that spray kit and all that fancy shit and everything, and like, I think this is easier. So, sometimes keeping it simple is the best way to do things, like pretty much always. See what else I get done today. Stuff stinks. It smells like cat piss. Are you guys cat people or dog people? Let me know. That was really easy. Well, let these dry. I'll probably do another coat. Seems like this stuff goes pretty far. We'll get some more pieces and do those. More pieces, yay! I just did have the realization you should probably stir this stuff. Oh, it's fine. I thought about it and I was like, oh, I wonder if it's really runny on top and it's like goopy in the bottom, but it's already pretty distributed pretty well. That is really easy. I should have done this to begin with. This is really funny. I cannot find my panel that goes right here. I have no idea where I put it. It's probably the last place I left it. Other than that, I can't find it. Shit. I've been looking for like 10 minutes. I cannot find this piece. So, yeah, I guess I'm missing this piece. I'll probably make another one and then I'll find it. Something like that. But basically, that's what it looks like coated. Obviously, I have to do the one. Can you see that? I still have to do that little panel. No big deal. And then whenever I find this piece, I'll do that piece right there. Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to get done for today, really. It's not much, but it's something. You know, that's the thing with these project guys. It may seem like a big project, and it is, but what you can always do is just come out and spend half an hour a day, or whenever you can, put a little bit of time in, and it, you know, you just chip away at it and get it done. That's how shit gets done, right? Can you tell I was a professional painter at one point in my life? Huh? There we go, all coated. Okay, now I'll see you later. Bye. And next day. Look what I found. Got the floor in. It's all glued down and screwed in. I got these pieces in. They're bolted in and sealed. You can see the seam sealer on the edges. It's a little messy, but I can always clean it up later or whatever. It's a van, who cares? Right now I got this piece I'm gonna put in here, and I sealed these edges on this. Put a bunch of sealer in these corners on both sides. So I'm gonna go ahead and install that piece. A little tight, especially if it's upside down. Pay attention to what I'm doing. Okay. I still didn't figure out how I'm going to actually attach this board. Probably should have thought about that beforehand. Whatever. We'll get it. Let's see, change my gloves because I've got goop on them. So this side needs to be shimmed out a little bit compared to that side. I think I showed you in one of the bumper videos or something, that last piece of railing in the box fan itself is not square. So let me figure this out and I'll bring you back. So I got ahead of myself a little bit. I got that panel on the bottom I told you about. I got that all in there. And then I was out here with my dad and we were talking, and I just wasn't paying attention. And I put the right door on before I put the left door on, which is really dumb because the left door sets the gap for the right door. So I'm trying to rush here a little bit because I have sealer under these, and once it goes off, it won't squish. So I need this to get this left door on, got the trim on, get the sealer to squish, and then adjust the left door, and then adjust the right door. So here we go. So this right door just has a few bolts just kind of holding in place until I get further along on this side, like I said. Okay. So I'm just going to get these started, and then I'm going to have to pull them back out and reseal them because sealant needs to go in these bolts. If I can just get a couple, get it started, and then go from there. Yeah, that left door needs to go up a little bit. They both need to go up a little bit. You want to help me pry this up? I heard you talking to somebody. Let's see, I'm talking to myself. Oh, you got it. Which one did I put the sealant on?
Top, middle.
Top middle, okay. Oh, yep, I can see it. Okay, I'll go ahead and put sealant on these and start running them in. All right, doors are on, trim's on, it's all sealed. But the alignment's pretty good on them for what they are. Okay, I was able to get that done, kind of fix my screw up. I just wasn't thinking. That left door needs to go on first to make the alignment for the right door. So I got the left door, put a few bolts in it, tightened it up, got my adjustment where I wanted it. It's pretty decent. And then went through and tightened this right door. So everything's sealed and tight. All the bolts have sealant on them. The trim has sealant around the edges, as you can see. It's a little better on this side, you can see. They function pretty good. That bottom piece of trim is not installed yet. That's just sitting there. I need to make a little shim in this corner over here, and then I can screw that. I'm going to screw it to the face of this board here and get this all buttoned up and figured out. Good progress today. Got a lot done.